John Bentley.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck back with another Cowboys fans only episode. So you guys know the drill. You know the drill, but if you don't, this is your first time, go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. Somewhere down there, somewhere down there, somewhere down there. Also, make sure you check out cowboysfansonly.com. That's where you can get all of my Cowboys merchandise for the CFO gang. Salute to everyone who's been representing all their gang gear, sending me pictures. Guys, if you purchase something from the website, make sure you tag me in it so we can post it to Instagram and we can rep our gear, man. And also salute to the Fan to Fan Network. They're one of our new sponsors for the show. But enough with all that. I have a very special guest today, and this is the first lady of the Star Gang. I would like to welcome Miss Mary to the show. What's going on, Mary? How's it going?
Hello, hello. What's up? I'm good. I'm excited for this week.
Yeah, I think we all are. So, and here's the thing, guys. So, I had Spoonie on the show and I also had Nix, and we've had a lot of late night runs. Shots to the Star game, but Mary was never anywhere to be found those late night runs. So, we had to bring Mary on. But for the people who don't know where to find you, Mary, go ahead and give them a quick update where they can find you, all your social media, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, on Twitter at Star Gang Beauty, Facebook on the Star Gang page and the Star Gang group. Mariella Bowers on Facebook. Hit us up, follow, like, catch us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central.
Yeah, that's the family. And my guy Nix, he's gonna be owing me some wings, man, because everyone was tweeting me. CeeDee Lamb is our number one receiver right now. Like I told you back, I told him back that way back in June. CeeDee Lamb was our number one receiver. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it, the game that everyone is still talking about. And Mary, I'm gonna ask you, have you recovered from last Sunday's game? I mean, it was just all over the place, full of emotions. Have you recovered fully yet from Sunday's game?
I think yesterday is when I finally recovered.
Settled in.
Like it took me, I mean, I've rewatched it multiple times, got rehyped again, and I think I finally like today it's settling in that we play Seattle on Sunday.
Right, right. Because I was watching the game. I was doing some film study yesterday and going back through those emotions. So let me ask you this. When you think about last Sunday's game against the Falcons and the comeback, where do you place this game historically as far as like other NFL games, do you think? Top 10,
Oh, I
top
mean,
20?
it's gotta be at least top 10
Right,
because I mean it was so improbable to get that onside kick. It was extremely improbable.
right, right. Because like I said, I guess they're calling it the watermelon kick. I like
Yeah.
I like the Texas Twister a little bit better, but I guess it's the watermelon kick. That's kind of boring. But we'll get to the onside kick. So we have to start off in the first half. What the hell was going on? Why do you think that we had so much issues controlling the ball, holding onto the ball? What? Because I've never seen anything like that except like in a video game where it was this constant fumble after fumble. Even watching the tape back, I'm just like, what is going on? Hold on to the ball is getting punched out constantly. And for anyone who's ever played football, that's the first thing they preach. That's the very first drill that you go through when football starts is to hold onto the ball. Everyone's slapping on you, trying to protect the ball. So, what do you think the issue was why we couldn't hold onto the football on Sunday?
I mean, I really don't know because it's very uncharacteristic for Zeke.
Right.
And Dak, he had some of those issues in the pocket when he was a little younger, but very uncharacteristic characteristic of him now. And you said first half, first quarter,
Right. First
really
quarter,
like
pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
it was it was insane. I mean, I think that, they went into that game knowing they needed a win, knowing that they were compromised on the O line. And I kind of feel like they were maybe just overcompensating.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what it was. I feel like Dak and Zeke, especially, they were pressing. They felt like they have to go out there and play hero ball. And I tweeted this
Mhm.
when Dak fumbles, like, don't play hero ball today. Just take the sack and live to play another down. But I feel like we were pressing a lot. Zeke was pressing for the extra yards, and Atlanta was coming in and punching the ball away. So hopefully, this was an area of focus going into this week's practice. Now, one of my big concerns, and even I took some time to settle down, and I'm still concerned about it, the decision making with this coaching staff. How are you feeling about this new aggressive style of coaching, going for it, fake punts? I feel like Mike McCarthy is transitioning us into a new era of Dallas Cowboys football, which a lot of us aren't used to, self included. But how do you feel? Do you think this is going to be a winning style of football, or do you think these decisions are going to cost us a lot of games? Because I feel like Sunday we got lucky. A lot of these decisions really could have cost us that football game going into it. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, you and I have kind of had brief conversations about this. You were one of the ones saying, "No, no, no, what are you doing?"
That's
but
the polite way of saying
yeah, yeah.
it.
I actually, my main issue with the calls hasn't been calling those. It's been the play calling when they do it.
Right,
You know, um, the fake punt, the second one, I could have done without. Like, if you wanted to go for it, then just go for it. With leaving your offense on the field.
right.
Um, but other than that, I just think either the execution or the play call wasn't what I would have preferred. I'm fine with it. I like taking the chance. Yeah, we did get lucky this week, but it took a few lucky things to go our way. Julio not catching that pass. A
Yeah.
few things had to go our way this week. So obviously, I don't want us to constantly put ourselves in those positions, but I like the aggressiveness and trusting in your players to make the play.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, this is what I've always asked for. A lot of us has asked for since the Jason Garrett era. Be more aggressive. Come out, punch him in the mouth. Don't back down. And so now that we have it, I feel like it's gonna take some adapting because I'm just like, I got. So this week going into Seattle, okay, we're gonna fake punt. We're gonna do some trick plays. We're gonna have some boneheaded decisions probably. I know what to expect, but I feel like the first two games are kind of a wake up call, that splash of water. Um, where I really wasn't expecting, like you said, that second fake punt, I think I was more frustrated because I personally knew it was coming. Because here's
Yeah.
the thing, when you go for a fake punt in the first quarter, what's going to stop you from doing it late in the game when you're down? Like, they were already prepared for it. And you look at it, the middle was already occupied. There was no run lanes. Like, call the playoff. Do an audible,
Yeah.
call a timeout or something. And I was like, they're about to fake this, aren't they? And there they go, right up the middle. I was like, no, you're not going to get. I think it was Thompson that they snanked the ball to. Um, but yeah, and I feel like with shortened training camp, no preseason, execution is critical, and especially for special teams and all these trick plays, because you saw, Jones short arm. I mean, a second grader probably could have threw that pass, but he
Yeah.
just threw it directly in the dirt. I think he got too excited because it was wide open, and he just short armed the pass. But another thing that I don't care has to stop immediately. Tony Pollard. And I saw that he went on Instagram, was like, I believe in me. I believe in you too, Tony Pollard. I believe in you heavily. But
Me
stop
too.
returning the ball when it's deep in the end zone on the kickoff.
Oh, I was so mad. I wanted to smack him. I'm like,
I I
just stop.
just stop. And here's the thing: the odds of getting a big return is slim to none. But you
Hmm.
run the risk of getting a penalty, getting pushed back. Different
Or a
things,
turnover.
or a turnover. Just take the knee. Just take the knee. I mean, the NFL is actually trying to get rid of the kickoff. Why are you even pressing it? And I get it. I can see if it was the fourth quarter, but I feel like Fossil and this special teams, they're going to be aggressive. And it seems like by Tony Pollard, we're going to see some of this on Sunday too. So what's your thoughts? You're a no-go with the returning the kicks every play pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he needs to know when to do it and when not to do it. And multiple times Sunday, it was like, just stop, don't do it.
Right.
So, I mean, and Seattle is definitely a better team than the Falcons. So you can't, they might be able to knock that ball loose or draw some kind of penalty. So that's something that he has to be mindful of, and that John Fossil needs to talk to him about this week going into this game.
Right. So after seeing, of course, we had the great comeback victory, but are you still concerned when you look at this Dallas Cowboys team after 2 weeks? Or do you feel like there's a lot of growth potential? Or do you feel like maybe we're not as good as we expected this offseason?
I think we're trending in the right direction.
Okay.
Um, I think this team previously, we would have lost this game. I
Right.
think they would have mailed it in, probably gave up pretty early. Even if we came back a little bit, would have mailed it in pretty early. It showed fight, it showed some more aggressiveness. We've seen now what our offense can do, getting
Mm-hmm.
everybody involved. I mean, the ball went to Schultz, and went to Bell, went to Noah Brown,
Right.
who I've
Noah
been
Brown.
wanting to see,
You've
even
been
though it got negated by a penalty. But
right. Right. You've been heavy on the Noah Brown train.
yeah,
And Dak Prescott said this at or not halftime, but he said Mike McCarthy at halftime was telling that we're still in it. We're still in a good position. And that Mike McCarthy really wanted to see who was going to fight and who was going to fold. And I feel
hmm
like, as you said, under the Jason Garrett era, it's a wrap, man. We could have went and cashed in at halftime, went and played Madden or watched Power. We weren't coming back from that game. But Mike McCarthy has been in a lot of these situations before against the Cowboys. And
hmm
so the team continued to fight. So I feel like the aggressive style of this new coaching staff is starting to sink in with the players as well. And the confidence and the morale is a lot different than what we've seen in the past. So maybe this Mike McCarthy thing is going to work out. But see this hat right here, I threw it a few times. I cuss,
Oh
like I said.
yeah.
Shouts out to my guys Spoonie and Nix. We did the live stream the first game against the Rams. I could not attend this past Sunday because I'm just like, no, 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 no. Now,
It's a good thing, huh?
right, yeah, yeah. I cannot live stream during the games. I was like, nah, this is not going to work. So let me ask you this question: going for the 2 point conversion, do you agree with that call going for it on the first touchdown, or should we take in the extra point and then try to score another touchdown, then go for two as well, making a 2 possession game another 2 possession game?
That's another one where I liked the call, but not the play call. Like,
Right,
I understand some people are saying it was too early or whatever, but to me, we needed the points regardless. So I'd rather try to get this out the way and then we'll know what we need to do afterwards. I didn't like the play to Zeke. I think the way Dak was moving, he should have just ran it in. And I
right,
think it would have been no question he would have gotten it. Um, or even, I can't remember who else was open, but I'm pretty sure someone else was open on the other side. I think they were going for Zeke from the beginning,
right.
and I think that was a bad play. But I like the call, just get it out of the way. And I think those are things that play calling wise, we adjust as time goes on. Hopefully, starts this week.
Right, right. Because that's the theme in Dallas right now. Analytics this, analytics that. And shouts out to my girl Ruth the Truth, and she was on the Martine Chromatica show, and I called in and spoke to them. And Martine had a good point. Of course, you want to use analytics, but your analytics doesn't know your players. It doesn't catch on to the momentum of the game. There's so many factors that analytics does not take into consideration. And so I feel like that's where Mike McCarthy is going to need to start finding balance. It's like, all right, things aren't going the way we kind of think. Maybe we should just take the extra point right now. But like you said, I didn't like the play call, and I didn't like going for it then, but it worked out. It worked out. The players saved the coaching staff, and I said that when I was on the show with Sid on the post game. The players stepped up, and they saved the coaching staff, because I feel like if we had lost that game and lost it a close game, like a 1 point or 2 points, there would have been a lot of explaining for Mike McCarthy and the staff to do moving forward. So they bought
Yeah,
him
I
another lead.
agree.
Let's hop
I
into the
agree.
chat. The chat is popping. Shouts out to my guy Mendoza. What's up, Tuck? What's going on, bro?
Hi
We got
guys.
we got a big game against Miami. That's a whole another conversation on Saturday night. Shouts out to my brother Cody, my Dak hating brother, and that's why I'm trying not to be so hard on these Dak haters, on Twitter, because my own flesh and blood is one of them. So I take it easy on you guys. Shouts out to my guy, the Lunatic. Go Cowboys. I would rather be lucky and good. Exactly. Shouts out to my
Yeah.
guy, Sid. Dallas Cowboys for life. What's up, fam? Timothy Barney, DC for life. Um, question time from the Lunatic. If T. Smith plays, do you see Brandon Knight starting at right tackle over Terrence Steele, because Steele has been struggling? I'll let you take that one. I got to answer.
I honestly, I don't think Tyron Smith is going to play. He didn't really practice this week. He's just been doing rehab stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that's probably a good thought. If Tyron does play this week, that they move Brandon to the right,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then see how that goes. Because he actually surprised a lot of us.
Yeah, he
Like
did.
we were very scared. That's one of the few games without Tyron Smith where Dak didn't die. So on the
Right.
left side. So
unlike last time when we played Atlanta without
yeah.
Tyron. I remember that game.
But in Still's defense, I mean, he hasn't been that bad. He's been better than anticipated. This is a guy we weren't even sure was going to make the team. So
Right.
um, he hasn't been as bad as we thought.
Yeah, yeah. What the Lunatic's question, I would definitely make that decision. Going back and watching the film the other day, Still was getting no late, and I tweeted this, like a matador. He was just getting ran around, and luckily he was on the right side, so Dak was able to kind of see what was going on. But if that was Dak's blind side, it might have been a completely different ball game. But I think it has to settle in. Coming into the NFL, playing tackle, it's not like a running back or maybe a wide receiver. When you toss someone into that position, it's a huge learning curve. And I feel like for Still, he kind of started to find his leverage, started to sink in, get his leverage, those defensive ends later in the game. But initially, he was just getting cooked off that edge nonstop. And
Correct.
I think that was that was the reason why we've seen a lot of fumbles and different things in Dak trying to overcompensate. So I would definitely use Knight at the right tackle. Hopefully, Lyle Collins comes back after Sunday's
Yeah,
game, and we can get this thing back
hopefully.
moving. But salute to my guy, Big Game James. He was heavy on the Knight train all off season, so he kind of called it. So Knight showed up for him. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. TP needs to be reminded when last year when we had kickoff return for a touchdown. Yeah, but I say still just take the knee, man. Take the knee, live to play another day
Hmm.
down. Now, here's my question I want to ask. We started off in a dual back system with Pollard and Zeke for first two plays, and then it just vanished. And it felt like for some weird reason, and it was like Pollard's fumbled, though he recovered it. Like it was like he fumbled and lost the ball. So, do you think we're going to see more of those type of sets when we see Pollard and Zeke in the backfield at the same time, or was that just something kind of experiment that Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy was tossing out there?
I do think we'll see it more. I think we didn't see him much after that because we just got too far behind, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to keep your best guys on the field. I think, when we're doing good, the offense is moving, we'll see more of him because it is a great combination to have on the field together. We know that they practiced it a lot
Right.
in this limited off season. So I think they experimented, in the beginning, because it's something that they want to continue to do. And they kind of just tucked it away for another day when they realized, we got to hurry this up. We got to score more points. And they didn't want to get too cute
Right.
with what was going on.
Right. Gotcha. Shouts out to my guy Nix. He's in the house.
What
Oh,
up,
that's
Nix?
Spoonie, man. Spoonie has like 8 different
Oh.
accounts. What's up, Spoonie? He says, let's see. My guy Sid said that was a terrible call. Come on, Mary. I think he's talking about the 2 point conversion. I agree.
I love the call.
Uh, and then Spoonie says, love the aggressive call. Agree with Mary. Nah,
Woo
man. Nah, bad call. Spoonie, man, he's supposed to be my tag team partner, man. This is how you gonna do me. Let's see. Who do you think starts our cornerback two opposite of Diggs? I think it will be Worley. So we know
Mhm.
Cheeto's out, and then Diggs is with the shoulder, and so I would probably say it's going to be Worley. Do you think Carr would start at corner, or do you think he's going to be more the primary safety? This whole secondary thing's just blown up in our face. So I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Worley's gonna be on the other side, and I do think Carr is gonna be there as safety, rotating, or maybe we'll see Reggie Robinson this week. He's been a healthy inactive the first 2 weeks.
Right.
So, maybe we get to finally see him. But I do think Carr is gonna stay as safety.
Yeah, so we'll probably have Diggs, Worley, J. Lou, I would say, probably be those
Hmm.
corners. Now, if there is we get that update where Diggs cannot go Sunday, I might log off and just play Madden, man. There's no need to waste your Sunday. There's no need to waste your Sunday being all upset, man. So I think Diggs will play. They got shots for that. Just make sure they hit the right spot. Don't hit any ribs. Don't pull a Chargers
Oof. Oof.
ordeal. But I think
Lord.
Diggs will play. So I think yeah, Diggs and Worley. He did have an opportunity for a play early in the game, just didn't bring it down. So maybe that's something to build off of. Um, let's see what's going on in the chat. Put him on Moore or the tight ends. Hey, what's happening with Gregory? Do you mean Randy Gregory? So Randy
Randy
Gregory's
Gregory.
6 games, right? So
Yeah,
he
he
come
can't come back
back.
till October.
Yeah, October. So he's back. Is he practicing or can he practice
He's
yet?
been, I don't think he can do actual team drills. I think
Mm-hmm.
he can do individual stuff. So, because he's been spotted,
Right
but
in the
I don't think
facility.
he can do team stuff really,
Yeah,
like
Nick says
team
week
drills.
seven, week 7. So that'll be a huge lift. So if the Cowboys, here's my thing, and we'll go in this deeper on. But if the Cowboys can maintain, just hold up until we can kind of get healthy again, then I feel like we can make a great push in the middle of the season. If there's a possibility LVE comes back, and I know a lot of people are off the Sean Lee, you know, thing, and Thomas has played well, I'm all hands on deck. So if Sean Lee comes back and he's
Yeah.
healthy, get him back out there, and we'll definitely get things moving. Now let me ask you this, because this was a huge topic of discussion on Twitter. It was popping yesterday. Everson Griffin There was this whole conversation with him and Kavanaugh. I'm not going to go into that, but he did say that he spoke with the coaching staff and Mike Nolan, and he's going back to a 3-point stance versus standing up, which is pretty much what the tweet was saying and implying. So, do you think that with this team that we have in place as far as defensive wise, should we stick with the more traditional 4-3 as of right now? Because DeMarcus Lawrence, I think he's more of a hand in the dirt guy. I think Griffin's
Mm-hmm.
more a hand in the dirt guy. So do you think are we going to be more traditional 4-3 than the whole 3-4 experiment?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought before the season started that, it was going to be mostly 4-3, like a base 4-3, and then only 3-4 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what they need to go back to is, base 4-3 and then 3-4 sometimes because, you're paying a guy like D-Law all that money,
Right.
and then you're playing him out of his comfort zone and he's not, he's making plays here and there, but he's not doing what we need him to do for us to get pressure on these quarterbacks, get sacks and create the turnovers we want to do, which, is what we all expected before this season started. We bragged about how this D line could be scary.
Right.
And it can be scary if two of your big guys who you want on the edge
Get,
aren't playing the way they want to play.
getting zero pressure. And then because
Yeah.
Nick's just comment, I was going to say the same thing. Jalen Smith came out and said a few minutes ago that the defense was too complex, and like I thought that's what we want. So under under the last coaching staff, everything was so simple and so easy to read. We disguise coverages, and now we come out and it's too complicated. And I feel like go play football, like know your assignments and go play football and get the job
I
done.
think I think there's a happy medium. I
Right,
think that Mike Nolan, he came out and he wanted to just try some things that they've been doing in practice.
right,
And it's kind of experimenting. This is what preseason would normally be for. But on the other hand, we had Rod Marinelli, who literally, no matter what the situation called for, no matter who we were playing, it was the same thing over and over and over
right,
again. So, I mean, there just needs to be a happy medium to where, I like so far that they're saying, look, this hasn't really worked for us in the first 2 weeks, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
right.
So we'll see how they switch it up. Hopefully, it's a happy medium. We don't want to go all the way back to Marinelli and Rashard days because that's just
Yeah, too
too much.
predictable. We're not.
I agree though. Play football.
Yeah,
After this, no excuses.
right. Yeah, that's what I feel like it's an excuse. Like, oh, it's too complicated and this and that. Just get the job done. 2-point
Yeah.
stands, 3-point stands. Get to the quarterback. That's what you're paid to do. And so, last question in regards to the pass game. Then we're going to move forward. What the heck was the Falcons thinking on the onside kick? Do you have any idea? Like,
Well, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I'm still baffled by it.
right,
It I'm just watching it. I'm like, at first I'm thinking there's no way it's gonna go 10 yards. They're gonna pick it up.
right.
And then I'm like, okay, it's still rolling and no one's touching it. And then I'm looking at them and then they're just standing there looking at our players. And then so I'm just like, I I was speechless. I mean, it's like literally a 4% chance. My husband, he's already getting mad, calling it a loss. Like, there's no way we get this. And then all of a sudden, it's there. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm just assuming they didn't know the rules.
And we still haven't gotten any like information on any of the players and what they were thinking. So here's my thought process after I watched it a few times. I think the watermelon kick is what we're calling it. Threw them off, and I think they were thinking that the ball was going to bounce a little bit, so they were hesitant to get
Mm.
close to it. That's my only thought process because there's like 5 of them around the ball. If any of them just dove on the ball, they would have been ball game. But I don't know. I don't know. But I would definitely take it. Like I said, with the onside kick, your husband said with the 4% chance, the NFL is really trying to get rid of onside kicks. You can no longer, get any momentum before the ball even leaves, the
Yeah.
kicker's foot. And so I feel like this was just a miracle that happened. But sometimes you got to take your blessing and move on, and that's definitely what we're going to do. So we are
Yeah.
going to move on to Seattle. So
Mm.
Sunday we will face against the Seahawks, and I have a few takes on how we're going to beat the Seahawks. And so my first one is contain, contain, contain. If you play Madden, R1, R1. We have to keep Russell Wilson contained inside that pocket. If we allow him to move and use his feet and get outside the pocket, It's going to be a long day. I'll tell you right now, especially with the banged up secondary. When Russell Wilson is able to get outside the pocket and use his feet, he's always looking downfield, and that's when the big plays start to happen because those linebackers and those corners, they start to peak, they start to come up, and as soon as you do, oh, well, there goes Tyler Lockett right behind you for the big play, big first down. So containment, making sure that you stay in your gap is going to be critical for this team, especially on Sunday, because even
Yeah.
we let little old Matt Ryan, scramble a few times, and so Russell Wilson will definitely make us pay if that's to happen. My second take,
Oh yeah.
we have to limit the big plays. The DK Metcalfs, the Tyler Lockett, they were striking downfield against New England. We had to limit those plays. And as we saw against Atlanta, there was touchdown plays where the receivers were wide open. If we give those mistakes up to a quarterback of Russell Wilson's caliber, it's going to be good night. The
Mm-hmm.
third one, Spoonie, I know it's your guy, but you said the other day you don't care this week, so we're not even going to care about him. But he actually came out and tweeted this self. He says he's been hearing around in Dallas and hearing it, so maybe he's been hearing it from me. But keep Jamal Adams in coverage. Keep him moving backwards. Keep him moving backwards in coverage. We saw a few times Edelman was able to get beyond Jamal Adams for those big plays. And so, with our wide receiving core, that can be critical. So, I want to see Jamal Adams earn every penny. I want Sid to come on the post game and say, I told you that Jamal Adams can't cover. He's just a box safety because he was getting cooked by CeeDee Lamb all game. That is what I want. That's what I want to see for Jamal Adams. But if we are able to let him just sit up in that box and come towards Dak and come towards Zeke, that's when he's at his best, and he's definitely a playmaker. So we have to keep him moving in coverage. And then the last one, I call this the Cobra Kai mentality. Have you seen Cobra Kai on Netflix?
I have not seen it yet. I keep hearing about it. I heard you talking about it last week.
Definitely should check out. But strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys need to get out the gate, come out and play with that same tenacity, that same hunger that we had when we were down by 20 points to the Falcons. Come out with that same sense of urgency early, and then once we do, keep our foot on their neck and show no mercy. And I feel like we can do that. We can definitely take advantage of the Seahawks defense. They're limited. They have injuries. Now, of course, they still have Bobby Wagner you have to be aware of. Also, Jamal
Mm-hmm.
Adams. But for the most part, there's a lot of weak points on this defense that we can definitely take advantage of. So strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy. The whole Cobra Kai mindset this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. So, Mary, what's some of your takeaways and keys to victory to beat Seattle on Sunday?
I mean, 100%, like you said, contain Russell Wilson. I mean, he's arguably one of my favorite players in the NFL, and when you let him on the loose or you let him have too much time to just chunk that ball downfield, you're going to pay. He's
Right.
going to make you pay. So, um, you got to stop him, somehow, some way, you got to stop him. And that's my main worry, because we said these first 2 weeks. I mean, after week one, golf, he got some scrambling and running going. I thought that week two, Matt Ryan, he's not really much of a scrambler, not much of a runner. So I'm
Right.
thinking, okay, at least we can, but we didn't.
Right.
He got out sometimes too.
Right.
So this is one of those weeks where it's like we really need to work on that on the defense, because if we can't, it's going to be a very, very long day.
Right. And like I feel like where Russell is definitely deadly and detrimental for our defense is our defense so far has struggled getting off the field in third down. So those
Oh
third
yeah.
and twos, third and threes, third and fours where everyone's in coverage and everyone's locked up and the secondary's done a great job. And there goes Mr. Unlimited creeping out through the first down. So we have to make sure that we're staying in our gaps and keeping contained. But like I also said, Russell's one of those quarterbacks, and he's kind of similar to Dak. They don't just run to run the ball. They're running to make a strike. So as soon as he comes out
Mm-hmm.
that pocket and you start to creep up and you might get pump fake, all of a sudden they're going over the top. So he's definitely now you can go back and forth. I have Pat Mahomes as number one, Mr. Unlimited as number two, but you can swip. I don't care. But
Yeah.
he's that type of caliber of quarterback. But the one good thing I would say the Cowboys do take into this game, we are very familiar with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, and we've played great
Yes.
against Russ in a lot of different occasions. And also, we're going to Seattle in an empty stadium. So it's a lot different
Yes.
than going and having to face a 12 man. Now, Cowboys players, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but if you are, do not pull a Cam Newton and go in front of that 12-man camera and start
Oh,
celebrating when you score a touchdown. Don't do that. Don't do it. We don't need any extra incentives and all that. Just score your touchdown, do your thing, and keep it moving. But I kept seeing Cam go over doing the Superman and the
the
Wakanda. I'm like,
extra.
oh my god, that's way too much. Not with this team. Um, so how are you feeling going into this game? Do you feel confident? Do you feel like, it is what it is? Nick says, "Do it." All right, Nick. Well, hey, if we start blowing them out, then all right, then by any means, go in front of that 12th man camera and get your flex on. But as of right now, nah, I'm good. But how are you feeling? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling, eh? What's your
I
thoughts?
mean, I'm on par with everything you just said. I was actually going to say this. We play Russell tough. We have some experience playing him pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to keep with that pattern. And it's a benefit that we're going to their stadium and there's no fans.
Right,
That's a huge. Even though they're going to have the artificial noise, it's way easier to face that than to face all those fans in that stadium.
right,
With that momentum or with those booings or whatever. So I'm very confident because we've had some growing pains these first 2 weeks, but we got some huge momentum after a crazy win like we had on Sunday. I mean, you saw how Dak was after the game. We've seen them how they're speaking this week. They all seem very, very confident
right,
and ready to just take the next step. So I'm very confident. The Seahawks, you already said Russell. We know they have Adams. We know they have Bobby Wagner. But they've been struggling on defense just like we have.
right.
So strike early, make them have to beat us and score every single time.
Yeah,
The idea that we just run out the clock and run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, that's dangerous against a guy like him. So let's
right.
just make him have to beat us through the air every single chance he gets, and just let our defense make a play, let our offense make a play, and go in there guns blazing.
Right. And I think Mike McCarthy came out today and said that we're not going to try to run the ball and eat the clock and get out. And Jason Garrett's probably saying, "Well, why not?" Like,
Exactly.
but I think we're going to come out and play aggressive and try to score because Seattle's defense has given up over 800 yards in 2 games. And so,
Yeah.
what the Falcons have with their wide receiving core, and I know our wide receiving core is damn sure better than New England's. We definitely
Yeah.
going to have opportunities to strike. I think is really critical is who's going to be playing. I think if Tyron Smith can come and play, it's going to give us a huge boost as far as protection wise for Dak, because that's what I was saying last Sunday. Just give Dak time in the pocket, and he can pick defense as apart. But I feel like when he starts getting pressure and different things, and if Terrence Steele's out there getting olayed by Jamal Adams, then their defense can start to sink in a little bit and find their
Mm-hmm.
rhythm. So we can't let them find their rhythm. Come out the gates, as you said, guns blazing. Team 40 burger. We got to see it finally, and it looked miraculous. So
Yeah.
let's keep up the trend. Try to put 40 on them. And I say if we go out in a blaze of glory, just let it happen. But I feel like we definitely have the tools on offense to put up big numbers. But let's talk about defense right now. With the injuries circling, defense being too complex, DeMarcus Lawrence knee injury, new child on the way. Will he play or not? I think he will. What is your main concern on the defensive end as far as
I mean, yeah,
just
they're not getting
everything?
sacks. I mean, yeah, 2 sacks in 2 games. It's unacceptable for what we expected from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God this past week the linebacker play got better.
Right,
Because Jalen was just a mess in week 1. He was an
right,
absolute mess. And then Joe Thomas this week, he was all over the place. He was really good. So linebacker play, just if it continues to trend upwards, and if that 3 point stance, I know fans as fans were like that's an excuse, but if that makes them feel better and that
mm-hmm.
makes them perform better in their minds, and then it translates on the field, I'm all for it. Do what you need to do, especially against Russell Wilson. Whatever
Right,
it takes. If
right.
there's
What?
100 point stance you can do that one
Yeah,
too.
do whatever. I don't care. Just get the win. Just get the win.
Yeah.
And then also, shouts out to my guy Nick's Spoon. Xavier Woods played solid last week, so that's
Yes.
a huge upside as far as the secondary is concerned. So I feel like Diggs is growing. I
Mm,
personally, I would like to see Robinson out there. Reggie
yes.
Robinson. I've been high on him all off season. So I mean, throw him in at safety. I mean, he can't be no worse. That's the thing about the safety position. What can he do? You could probably put me out there and get a few tackles. Like I can't be any worse. And so I would say let the young boy get out there and get some reps and see what he can do. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
but as far as those guys coming off the edge, standing up, they just look so uncomfortable. And like
they do.
what did it for me is when it was fourth down, and I saw Demarcus Lawrence, who's getting paid all this money to be our war daddy, our sack guy, drop back in pass coverage. And I was just
Oh
like,
yeah, I was like, what
and
is going
I
on?
was like, you know what? All right, Mike Nolan. All right, y'all trying to mess with my Sunday. I'm like, why is Demarcus Lawrence dropping back in pass coverage on fourth down against Matt Ryan? Like you're
Yeah,
getting way too cute. So maybe that's what Jalen is mentioning. Like they're getting way too cute. You find
yeah,
out what's the strengths of your player. You have enough to know about them, and you let them go do what they're being paid to do. Tristan Hill's been playing great. I still need to see more from Poe in the interior. The run
yes,
game is going to be critical to stop because Carson and also Carlos Hyde, those guys can get loose. They like to get loose on the outside, and we struggle with our outside runs because we don't keep contained for I don't know what the reason
yeah,
is. Um,
yeah. We struggle with that.
but we
Carson
can't
is
let we
definitely
can't
part of
let
that.
Carson and Hyde get rolling because that's when Russ likes to go to the play action and then all hell just breaks loose. So nah, we can't do that. But I think it really comes down to just who is healthy and who's going to be playing this game. I think Diggs is a critical piece to making sure that he's going to be out there on Sunday's game. Let's hop in the chat. The chat's still popping, guys. If you haven't commented, liked, or subscribe to the channel. Also, turn that notification bell and also hit up the Star Gang podcast. Star Gang podcast on YouTube. Don't
Woohoo!
type in Star Gang because you'll get a whole bunch of rap videos. And I'm just like, you're gonna get a whole bunch of other guys. I was trying to find your guys' show that typed in Star Gang. I was like, what the hell is this? This spoon rapping about what? Um, let's see here. For the talking after, we're taking the win. Need to have that swagger. Stay humble, but stay hungry. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We have to stay hungry, but we all know this Dallas Cowboys team. We can tell them they're the best team on earth, and they'll start feeling themselves. And but I don't think Mike McCarthy and the staff is going to allow that, though. That's the one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. McCarthy said, he was talking about the miscues on defense, and so he obviously didn't call anyone out specifically, but I'm sure they got called out heavily in the meeting.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. And like I said, I like Mike McCarthy. I like Mike Nolan. I like a lot of these guys on his coaching staff. I just got to get used to him. It's gonna be a while, But kind of seeing how Mike McCarthy carries himself post game, during the game, he has that rugged toughness that we've been wanting for so long in Dallas. I mean, since pretty much Parcells, and so I feel like that's going to rub off onto our team. Just blue collar. We don't care who they are. We're going to play our
hmm
game. Whatever happens, happens. If we get blood in our mouth, it just happens. So I like that. We're not going to back down from nobody. But
go big or go home.
go big or go home, but be smart when you go big. Because like I said on Twitter, I've seen a lot of big people get knocked out before. So you got to be smart. Be smart. So, make sure that if you're going to run these plays and these fake punts, that you've been practicing all week and there's execution there to be able to really pull this off. Because if not, it could be costly. SEO, Scorch Earth Offense. Yeah, that's your guys' thing for going ahead and getting that offense popping. What was that? It was WAP. It was reckless pass.
We ain't punting.
Huh? Oh, we ain't
We
punting.
ain't punting.
Yeah, we ain't punting. Yeah. What was the pass rush one? What was the pass?
What a pass rush.
What a pass rush? Yeah, we
Which we
need some
haven't
of that.
seen.
Yeah, where's a pass rush more like it? Where's a pass rush? Um, last 18 games, Dak has had 300 yards plus passing, 8 of them. Dak attack, let's go. Yeah, yeah. And if you saw my post game show with Sid, such as my guy Sid, I'm not doing no more Dak Prescott slandering. That's done. That's
hmm
done. We're not doing that. I'm not engaged in that conversation. Dak Prescott is a quality quarterback. He's a leader. He really put this team on his shoulders, him and Zeke as well, and really just rode the team to that comeback victory. That was all the quarterback, all Zeke, but that was tremendous leadership to get this team to rally behind. Because they could have folded. We could have folded.
Yeah,
They didn't.
exactly.
They kept on pushing. Um,
And
ever
one
Go
thing
ahead.
I noticed too,
Huh?
is we had 40 points on Sunday. Our offense was rolling.
Right.
Not one of our top three wide receivers has scored a touchdown this season yet.
Right.
And we're like, it's rolling, it's moving so well. I didn't even notice that. So,
Right.
there's still like So much to see from this offense. It's like I said, it's trending upwards. It's going the right direction.
Yeah, and we saw another thing. Shouts out to Dalton Schultz. You know, he's one of those players who got an opportunity. A lot of people are like, "Oh, we need a tight end." Like, I don't care, OJ Howard, Trey, whatever you got to do to get. But sometimes you guys get to understand when you get an opportunity as an athlete. Sometimes you just take it and run with it. So I feel like
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz did a great job Sunday. My guy Blake Bell. I know a lot of people are like, "Tuck, why do you keep talking about Blake Bell?" I like Blake Bell. Like, I feel like him and Dalton Schultz are like a mirror match. It's pretty much the same player. But he came through, was able to contribute, did well in the blocking schemes, and caught a few passes as well. So I feel like that's what this team is doing. They're starting to rally, and when it's your time to make a play, you make the play. It doesn't matter who's making the play. You know, Cooper's not over there throwing his helmet like, oh man, CeeDee Lamb's getting all these looks. Nope. CeeDee gets his opportunity, and then when it's time for Cooper to make a play, that great one-hand catch, Coop came down and did what he had to do. So I really like the continuity with this team, which will probably explain why we're not bringing in outside ruckus, as we will say. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Everson Griffin will be more comfortable in 3-point stance. We're going to get no blink Griffin, and hell's coming for him. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think him and D-Law are, because here's the thing: if you watch the tape on both of those guys, they're hesitant. They're hesitant, and that's why you keep seeing the possible offsides, because they're trying to jump the snap. And personally, in college, I played in 3-point stance. I'm sorry, 2-point stance. I love the 2-point stance, hated the 3-point stance. Like, it comes with your comfort. But these guys have earned their money, Pro Bowls, everything by being a 3-point stance defensive end coming out the edge. So let these guys do what they're great at for right now, and then maybe next year we'll work on it or adjust. But as of right now, hand in the dirt, ears back, come get the quarterback. No need to get all cute
Mm-hmm.
and fancy. Poe and Crawford need both of them to play better. Yeah, the interior has been not
Yeah.
the best against the run. We definitely need that. I think I saw Snacks Harris came out. That was everyone's wish list. I don't even think Dallas has even contacted the guy, so he didn't.
Yeah. He's
So
visiting Seahawks next week.
right, next
So
week, next week. So
you're gonna
yeah,
have to face him this week.
yeah.
But
So obviously the Dallas Cowboys do not listen to our GM decisions because we haven't got anybody to work. Um, do you want to win time of possession or go fast and score often versus the Sea Chickens? Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. I said strike first, strike hard, show no mercy, man. Like, I think that's
yeah.
the key. We cannot play scare or play. We just want to control the clock and be fearful of, um, the Seahawks. We got to come out there and put up our gloves, roll up our sleeves, and start swinging. I think Mary agrees with that as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen on Twitter it's let Russ cook from Seahawks Twitter, and now Cowboys fans are like, let Dak cook, let
Right.
Dak cook. Just don't focus on just running the ball to kill the clock. Let him go out there and let's score as much and as fast as possible.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. And then we got Kevin said hi, Mary. And
Yeah.
then my brother Cody, here he goes. What's the difference between Dak's performance Sunday and what he did last year when we were behind?
I mean, I don't really understand what the question means.
He's
I mean,
pro-
we won.
yeah, we won. Um, and so we have to get rid of this narrative. I don't know what it is that is garbage minutes or like none of that. Like they're
I don't, it just doesn't make sense to me because you want a QB to not try to win when they're down. I just don't like what is he supposed to do
right,
after
right, yeah.
that?
Because it wasn't like the Falcons were just sitting back in deep zones and we were just taking underneath plays. Like we had to fight for every touchdown, and Dak
Yeah.
was carving their defense up. They played man, they were playing press coverages, they gave us different looks as well. So it wasn't like they were sitting back in the prevent and Dak was just taking all underneath throws. That's what Twitter likes to believe. It's like, they let him throw. They let him throw. I'm like, all right. No, they didn't.
No, and then also too on that last pass to CD Lamb that put us in field goal. I mean, Lamb just he ruined that poor DB
Right,
like
right,
and Dak saw it happening. He just, chunked it over there to him like you need your wide receivers to execute, but you need your QB to get him the ball and trust in them to execute. And that's what Dak did.
right. Right. My guy Spoonie with the new account says Seahawks on the menu. Yeah, they're on the menu, man. Like I said, I'm not backing down. And that's the thing I said last Sunday. A lot of Cowboys fans out there, a lot of you love Dez Bryant, self accordingly, but y'all don't have inside of you what Dez actually represented. There's no fight. A lot of you were jumping out the window in the first quarter, and then I was tweeting, relax, everybody, relax. If we score here, we're perfectly fine. Tuck, you're being over. Just relax. It was the first quarter. Yeah. I can see if it was the third and we were still fumbling, like, okay. But you have to continue to fight. Like, damn, what do you expect to do? And I felt like with the turnovers that were happening, they were settling for field goals. If they were turning to touchdowns, then maybe a different story. But I was like, oh, we're only down by 20 in the first quarter. And there's 5 minutes left in the first quarter. This is going to be a long ball game. And so if they can just buy Dak time, I feel like he could do whatever he wanted against that defense. And he did. But a lot of you guys have no fight. So a lot of people are already saying, we're going to Seattle. There is no way we can beat Seattle. Why not? I mean, the Patriots should have really beat Seattle. I mean, I think it was a dumb call to go for it with Cam Newton again because everybody in the world knows what's going to happen. Right. Yeah. But I feel like, no, Seattle's not this team. I think we were so used to thinking of Legion of Boom Seattle, and that's not them. They do have Russ. They do have Jamal Adams, but they have a lot of holes as well. So just as explosive as they are on offense, we are, and just as limited they are on defense, so are we. So let's line up and see what happens. Guess if you want your quarterback to look good, play Atlanta. Let's cook it up. Yeah. Give me a team unit you will be looking closely at versus Seattle. Want to see the D-line contain Russ and then collapse the pocket and get the sack. I was throwing stuff in the first quarter, but telling everybody it was still plenty of time. But yeah, I need different. Yeah, I mean, of course, I didn't like what was going on in the first quarter, but you know there was a lot of time left. And like I said, man, I really won't be paying attention to a unit per se. But I think an important unit will be that defensive line, bro. I think that's what we spoke about. Contain. Keeping Russell Wilson inside that pocket, not letting him get out and scramble and do his magic is very important if we're really going to, have a chance to beat Seattle at Seattle.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I want this offense to take the next step and, come out swinging as we already discussed. But yeah, the defense, that defensive line is going to have to punch Russ in the face once or twice. That'd be great.
Right. And we've done it before. I mean, I remember the playoff game. I was there. Like, we've done a good job against Russell Wilson. We just have to do it again. Like, of course, Russell is leveling up each year, but I feel like we do have the talent on the defensive front to be able to get the proper pressure. And then the thing is, like, Russell Wilson gets sacked a lot, people, like, because he's
maneuvering he does. I think he's most sacked.
Yeah, I think he's the most sacked quarterback because when he's back there dancing around, his linemen are looking like, well damn, where are you? Like, so that gives the opportunity for a sack. But the defensive ends have to be coming towards applying pressure. You can't be sitting back in pass coverage.
Yeah, can't do that.
So I'm not going to keep you too long, Mary, but I'm going to ask you this. What is your prediction for Sunday's game?
Whew. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be high scoring. I don't like to predict by scores.
Okay.
But I do think it's going to be high scoring, and I think the Cowboys are going to win.
Cowboys are going to win. Yeah, see, everyone's been saying high score, and I feel like if you line everything up, of course you're going to think a high score. I think it might be the opposite for some reason. I'm going to kind of go, so if I was going to say maybe a score, I would probably say like 21-17-ish. Like, yeah. I know a lot of people think 30, upper 30s, 40s. I would say probably 21-17. For some weird reason, I just want to, bet the under against everyone going over. But like I said, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are fully capable of going to Seattle and winning this game. It comes down to execution, and stopping Mr. Unlimited. As they say, if you cut the head, they'll die. So that's the head. We got to get to Russell Wilson. They were able to contain him, get to him, get him frustrated. But I would tell you this, DK Metcalf, he's turning into a monster. Like, he's going to be a physical raw receiver.
He's scary.
He's real scary. He's like, I say he's like Des Bryant on Vibranium. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just, strong, and like, he's just a beast. And so whoever's going to have that job, so if Diggs is going to cover Metcalf, hope that neck is okay, man, because you're about to go right into a train wreck pretty much all Sunday. Diggs. So hopefully Diggs. But Diggs did a good job. I mean, he got beat a few times, but he's able to make up for it with his speed and different things like that. Jordan Lewis, not so much. I'm going to give J. Lou the benefit of doubt.
Yes, me too.
But
It's his first game back, you
first
know.
game back,
He
been injured. So yeah, I definitely agree. I expect a bigger game from Jay Lewis, especially if we're going to be limited now that Cheeto's out. I think Cheeto is a big loss though for our secondary, but hopefully one of those guys, whether it's Worley or Carr or Robinson, whatever they decide to do, decides to step up and take the challenge. But I'm excited for that game. So once again, Mary, let everybody know where they can find you and where they can hit you up, all your Twitter, all your socials, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, on YouTube, our Stargang page is Stargang Podcast. Like, subscribe. We go live on Tuesdays at 8. If you like Facebook better, we have a page and a group. Like the page, join the group. Very active in the group. We love, when you guys post things. We actually also go live in the group Tuesdays at 8 p.m. On Twitter at Stargang Beauty. And I get kind of spicy sometimes, so
But I feel like that's what Cowboys Twitter, it makes you be spicy. Like sometimes I'm just trying to have a good old time, crack a few jokes, but here comes somebody trying me. So when I saw everyone kind of come at Jeff Kavanaugh, I was like, damn, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but it's like Cowboys fans are all over the place. We'll be having a great conversation, and here they come. It is what it is. I think we're all just frustrated, passionate fans who's ready to see our team win. And if you're watching this show for the first time, I definitely appreciate it. Cowboys fans only. So go to the YouTube channel, comment, like, subscribe, turn that notification bell. Also go to cowboysfansonly.com to get all your CFO gang merchandise. And guys, like I said, if you go ahead and buy the merchandise, make sure you tag me on Twitter or Instagram at jtuck151 to notify me, so you can show that you showed the love. I even had a Patriots fan. Shout out to my guy Anderson, man. He's a diehard Patriots fan, hates the Cowboys. But he's like, Tuck, I want to support you. So he bought a shirt. He said, I'm just going to go running in it and whatnot. So he bought a shirt, man. So I definitely appreciate you guys, all the support. Also, follow the Facebook group, like the Facebook group. Dallas Cowboys fans only, DC4L. Shouts out to my guy Sid. And then tomorrow night, guys, I will have Seahawks Insider Super Fan. If you watch YouTube and well, we probably won't watch Seahawks information, but Norb Cam is a huge Seahawks guy. He's interviewed hundreds of players for the Seahawks. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow night. We're going to do a collab at 7 o'clock, brought to you by the Fan to Fan Network. So you definitely don't want to miss that. So for you guys that have questions about the Seahawks, what they're running, what they're doing, what's their thoughts, he'll definitely be the guy to ask. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. And also follow me on Twitter at jtuck151. I appreciate you, Mary, for coming on. I had a blast. Like I said,
Thanks for having me.
You've always missed out on the late nights. I don't know, Nick Spoon. When are we gonna do another late night? We're gonna do another 4 a.m. Session. Maybe we'll do one in the weekend soon. But I definitely have a blast. But shouts out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So like I always say before we leave the show, I want everyone out there to stay blessed, stay safe, stay encouraged, and we'll see you guys Sunday for the game versus Seattle. Go Cowboys. Boy Jay Tucker, we're signing off. Peace.